Welcome. I'm Kinetic Symphony. I hunt down and report on weird and true mysterious stories, from glitches to the paranormal. Would you like even more content? Here's my Patreon. Now onto the stories. Case file number 1123, written by TorchIt, the book that bound itself. This one is super strange, and I haven't told anybody about it. It just happened last week, and it's blowing my mind. I'm afraid that people will think I'm crazy. First thing of note, I'm a bookbinder. I tear apart paperback books and turn them into leather-bound hardbacks. Got it? Good. I received an order that has to be delivered on April 13th. It's kind of a boring job, so I've been putting it off in favor of other projects. Anyway, I got the book portion finished earlier, and I wasn't looking forward to making the cover portion. So instead, I slacked off on the night I'd set aside to do it. I played a video game for a few hours, talked to a friend on Facebook for about an hour, and then went to bed. When I got up to go to work the next morning, the books on my workbench were completely finished, like case made, metal pieces attached, glued together. The bastards are done. I started internally panicking, wondering what the hell was wrong with my memory. Then it hit me that I've got things that can corroborate my story. Check the game save log. Yep, I played for several hours yesterday. Check the Facebook chat. Yep, I talked to Brandon right before sleeping. Checked my Fitbit readout. I'd only registered 200 steps so far, and by the time I went to bed, it was after midnight. 6 hours of work would have had me walking around quite a lot. I cut my board with a laser cutter that lives in my spare bedroom. There's always junk pieces left over from a cut, just like if you cut a circle out of paper. You'd still have a rectangle piece with a circle cut out of it. Nope. Nowhere to be found. Not in the trash, not on the cutting bed. Also, laser cutting something leaves a distinct burnt smell, and I couldn't smell anything. My glue was exactly as full as I remember it being. None of my brushes were dirty. But there these fucking things are, totally finished. Even if I was sleep bookbinding, I'd show Fitbit steps and scrap materials. I have no idea what happened. Case notes are file 1123, the book that bound itself. All the specific details here that prove it couldn't possibly have been some memory lapse, not even sleepwalking because there are no residual bits left over from the laser cutting process. That's what really seals this deal. Because you do this so often, our minds are attuned to what we do often, so people who sleepwalk could do something complex if their mind is adapted to it. People who sleepwalk and drive and all kinds of crazy and advanced things. But, again, you have definitive proof that it couldn't have been that because you didn't have the time to do it, even if you were sleep binding. But you also didn't have any, unless you sleep bound and then cleaned up after yourself in a sort of way to try to gaslight your conscious mind. It's like your subconscious was pranking your conscious. Maybe, but I don't think it's that. I think it's more likely a multiversal switcheroo, where in a different universe, you just don't have those books anymore, or you switched them out. So, in the other universe, you weren't lazy, you didn't procrastinate, you did finish binding them correctly, fully, and then overnight, they switched out. So in that universe, you're waking up thinking, what the hell, I already did this. Why are they not finished now? And then in this one, you just got a freebie. So take it, enjoy it. It's fun. When the universe glitches out in our favor, that's definitely a good thing. Case file number 1124, written by BeWinShoots, My Dog's Mysterious Backyard Adventures. This was fucking crazy. I'm at home with the dogs. They're inside the house with me. They're whining at me because I want to go to the backyard, but I'm chilling, playing some computer games, and I'm too lazy to let them out. They leave my bedroom. 2 minutes later, I hear a loud noise. Sounds like they were horsing around and knocked something over. I go towards the source of the sound, but everything looks normal except the dogs are nowhere to be found. I'm looking around everywhere and I finally see them. They are in the backyard. I don't have a doggy door, and the door leading to the backyard is always locked. Now you're probably thinking there's a chance it wasn't locked, and they were able to get outside. But even if that was true, the weirdest fucking thing is that after they got out, the door was then shut and locked. There's no way to lock that door from the outside unless you have a key, and the deadbolt was locked, not the knob. Case notes for file 1124, My Dog's Mysterious Backyard Adventures. Yep, something very peculiar is going on with pets and doors. They seem to phase through almost at will. There's too many accounts of this happening to brush it aside, in my opinion. And it's not just going into the backyard either. It happens when a pet is locked inside a room as well, inside the house. So do pets constantly phase in and out by their own will? Or is it some coded error within the pets that enable this to happen completely outside of their own choice? Space-time anomalies could be possible too, but why is it always with pets? I've yet to hear of any glitch where a human is in their home, in their kitchen, say, one moment, and then they're just suddenly outside in their backyard the next. Maybe one day that'll be a glitch? Maybe. If it's all space-time anomalies, then yeah, it should happen to humans too. Case file number 1125, written by OriginalPorpoise, the Morphing Artist. I'm a painter, artist. I have this board that I've had since college. I started one painting on it that I never quite found the motivation to finish, but it's a decent enough board, so I've lugged it around with me for a few years, and recently painted over it with a new painting. All this is a common thing for me. Materials are expensive, so I reuse a lot of my boards. This board always stood out to me as being particularly awkward and annoying to handle. Don't even remember where I got it, but that's not significant because I have lots of scrapboard. It's heavy, MDF I think it's called. It's very thick, about an inch or more thick and very heavy. A pain to move up on my easel. I mean, it's not that heavy, I'm just lazy and weak. And one edge was cut at an angle, like instead of a 90-degree normal cut for a board that thick, there was one edge that was cut at a 45-degree angle. Not the sides. If you saw it from the front, it was an even rectangle, but the thickness of the back on one side was cut at that angle. I'd draw a diagram if I wasn't on my phone. I know this well because I picked the damn thing up so many times. I thought many times how it would be annoying to frame. I frame my own pieces, because to frame something you stick pins in the back to hold the wood in, and this angle would make it annoying to pin into a frame. I mean, all of this is no big deal, but it's all things I've thought and experienced to a pretty detailed degree while living with this board for a few years. Then one day, a month or so ago, I went to grab the board to work on the painting I've started on it. The motherfucking angled edge is now an even 90-degree angle. Totally normal now, just a rectangular piece of board, cut normally. No damn angle. This happened around the time I was getting more curious for a sign, even though I've been given a few already. It felt like a cosmic joke. Like, you wanted to see some crap? Here's some crap that literally no one will believe, but it's going to drive you crazy. I've examined all edges, most with paint flecks from my work on it. The previously angled edge with less paint flecks, but still looking worn and real. My roommate laughed my incredulousness off because I must have just remembered wrong, she said. But I remember so many details, so many times that this weird, heavy, awkward board was in my thoughts, and then just bam, it's a different shape. It's like waking up to find a plate that you used all the time is now oval, not circular. But who would believe you when you point out such an innocuous thing? They would just say it's always been oval, you're crazy. But I know this board was a different shape before. Case notes for file 1125. The Morphing Artist. What is something that artists are known for? Attention to detail. How to torment an artist and gaslight them into insanity? Manipulate a small detail that no one else would notice, but for the artist themselves. It's deviously ingenious. And it's too calculated for this to be random. Definitely too calculated. Sure, it could be quantum immortality, but the change is so specific just to drive you crazy. Now it's hard to say, is it a spirit, a ghost that maybe knew you? Maybe a friend that passed away and is just messing with you? Because it doesn't seem outright malicious, sort of. It's on that cusp, that edge where yeah, you could actually go insane from this. But it's not so severe that you would automatically go insane. Or go mad. So I don't know, maybe it is a spirit. I mean, coincidences do happen even within the glitch realm. But yeah, it seems too specific to me. And now time for the quote of the day. Things could always be worse. For instance, you could be ugly and work in the post office. Adrian E. Gusoff. So if any listeners work in the post office, I'm sorry, I apologize. I'm sure you're not ugly though, if that's the case. You're probably a model. Go sign up for an agency. I'm sure you'd do well. Let's just say that yes, things could always be worse, so try to find the silver linings in any situation you're in. It's worth it. If you can't change the situation, then make the best of it. Like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. Kinetic Symphony signing off.